A secret handshake just happened between two nations, and it's keeping Indian defense officials up at night. While the world was distracted, Turkey and Bangladesh signed a military agreement that's about to flip the power balance in South Asia completely upside down. Advanced air defense systems, combat drones, joint production facilities. This isn't just another arms deal, this is a strategic earthquake. And if you think this doesn't affect you, think again, because what happens next could redraw the military map of an entire region. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why this single agreement has defense analysts calling it the most significant shift in South Asian power dynamics in decades. Let's break down exactly what just happened. Bangladesh and Turkey have inked a comprehensive military agreement that goes far beyond typical arms sales. We're talking about three major components that make this deal unprecedented. First, Bangladesh is acquiring Turkey's cutting-edge SIPR air defense system. This isn't some outdated Soviet-era equipment they're replacing. This is modern, battle-tested technology that's proven itself in real combat scenarios. The SIPR system can engage multiple aerial threats simultaneously, providing Bangladesh with a defensive. Second, joint production of Turkish combat drones. We're not just talking about buying drones off the shelf. Bangladesh will actually participate in manufacturing these unmanned aerial vehicles on its own soil. This is technology transfer at its finest, or most threatening, depending on which side of the border you're standing on. And third, this is a framework agreement, meaning it opens the door for continuous military cooperation, training programs, and future acquisitions. This isn't a one-time purchase, it's a long-term strategic partnership. Now you might be asking, why is Bangladesh doing this? The answer is simple but profound: strategic autonomy. For decades, Bangladesh has relied on a patchwork of aging military equipment from various sources. Their defense capabilities haven't kept pace with their growing economic importance in the region. With a GDP approaching $450 billion and a geostrategic position between India and Myanmar, Bangladesh is no longer content being a passive player. This Turkish deal represents something bigger than weapons. It's a declaration of independence. Bangladesh is saying, we choose our own partners, we build our own capabilities, we secure our own future. And here's what makes Turkey the perfect partner for Bangladesh: no strings attached. Unlike Western arms deals that come with political conditions, human rights scrutiny, and usage restrictions, Turkey's approach is purely transactional. Buy our weapons, build your defense, ask us no questions. For a nation seeking autonomy, that's incredibly attractive. But let's talk about Turkey's angle, because Ankara doesn't do anything without calculated purpose. Turkey is aggressively positioning itself as the defense supplier for nations that Western countries won't arm or that don't want Western conditions. From Azerbaijan to Pakistan, from Libya to Somalia, Turkish drones and defense systems are everywhere. The Turkish defense industry has grown 500% in the last 15 years. This isn't just commerce. This is geopolitical expansion through military exports. By entering South Asia through Bangladesh, Turkey is planting its flag in India's backyard. It's gaining leverage, creating dependencies, and most importantly, establishing itself as a major player in Asia's security architecture. For Turkey, every drone sold is a vote of confidence. Every air defense system deployed is a future maintenance contract. Every military partnership is a foothold in a new region. Now we get to the heart of why this matters globally, and why India is genuinely worried. Imagine you're an Indian defense planner. For years, you've maintained military superiority over Bangladesh by a massive margin. You've influenced their defense acquisitions. You've been the regional heavyweight. And suddenly, your smaller neighbor acquires advanced air defense systems and drone technology that can genuinely threaten your air operations. The SIPR systems Bangladesh is getting can engage aircraft at ranges that cover significant portions of Indian airspace near the border. Those Turkish drones? They're the same ones that devastated Armenian positions in the Nagorno-Karabakh war and changed the Syrian conflict. But here's what really keeps Indian strategists up at night. This isn't happening in isolation. Bangladesh is also deepening ties with China. Pakistan already operates Turkish equipment. Myanmar is unstable. Suddenly, India faces a potential encirclement by Turkey-armed neighbors, while simultaneously managing the Chinese threat from the north. Every rupee India has to spend countering Bangladesh's new capabilities is a rupee not spent on countering China. That's the strategic calculus that's been fundamentally altered. But zoom out even further, and you'll see this is about something much bigger than just India and Bangladesh. This is about the decline of traditional power brokers and the rise of middle powers reshaping regional orders. Turkey is proving that you don't need to be a superpower to project influence globally. You just need the right products at the right price with the right political approach. And other nations are watching. South Korea is doing it with weapons sales to Poland. Israel has been doing it for decades. Now Turkey is perfecting the model. And traditional powers, the United States, Russia, even China to some extent, are finding themselves competing with more agile, less constrained players. For Bangladesh, this is validation that they can chart their own course. For other South Asian nations watching, Nepal, Sri Lanka, maybe even Maldives, this is a template. Partner with whoever offers the best deal for your sovereignty, regardless of what the regional hegemon thinks. So what happens next? That's the billion-dollar question. India will almost certainly accelerate its own military modernization programs. Expect deeper defense cooperation between India and Western nations as a counterbalance. We might see India increasing its own defense exports to Bangladesh's rivals or strengthening ties with nations Turkey is courting. Bangladesh will likely leverage this newfound capability to assert itself more forcefully in regional disputes, maritime boundaries, water sharing, refugee issues. They're no longer the junior partner in these negotiations. And Turkey? They've just proven their model works. Expect them to push even harder into Asian markets, probably targeting Indonesia, Malaysia, and even making plays in Central Asia. One arms deal, three nations, an entire region's power balance shifted. That's the story of Turkey and Bangladesh's military agreement, and why India's defense establishment is scrambling to respond. If you found this analysis valuable, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. The defense landscape is changing faster than ever, and you don't want to miss what happens next. Drop a comment telling me, do you think India's concerns are justified, or is this just Bangladesh exercising its sovereign right to defend itself? Let's discuss. I'll see you in the next one.